You have brain tumors, you just had surgery, your dad just died across the world for a year. Like, what?
I cannot imagine knocking on that door and being like,
yeah,
it's me.
Yeah. The lowest points in your life, if you have the right perspective about them, can end up being that like kickstart of what is the rest of an amazing life.
Adversity has reared its head. How do you rebuild from where you are? From South Bend to Evansville and everywhere in between, this is Get In, the show focused on the Hoosier State and the incredible stories happening here today. I'm Nate Spengel, founder of Get Indiana, and I will be your host for today's conversation. If you've been hunting for a brunch spot that understands food allergies and has bold flavors, look no further than Fire and Ice Cafe in Indianapolis. This hidden gem serves up European-inspired dishes that are entirely gluten-free. They're also completely free from peanuts, tree nuts, soy, sesame, fish, and crustaceans. We're talking biscuits, sandwiches, crepes, falafel bowls, pastries, and of course, all your favorite brunch drinks, crafted with serious care and a whole lot of flavor. Whether you've got food restrictions or just interested in great taste, this place is a must visit. Seriously, I don't have dietary restrictions, but the food actually rocks here. You definitely need to check it out. Grab your brunch crew and head to Fire and Ice Cafe at 6211 Allisonville Road, and your taste buds are gonna thank you. Now let's dive into the episode. Today I'm joined by Adam Swartz, founder of Umbrla Supply, a lifestyle brand spun out from a college project at IU. As a brain tumor survivor, he integrates resilience into every piece of his business, donating proceeds to brain tumor research and inspiring others through his journey. We're going to be talking about this journey from IU out to Colorado, back to Indiana, and just this whole, wild journey that the past 7 years of life have been. I'm really excited to dive into this. Adam is a close friend. So Adam, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here. Let's ride.
Let's talk about this. I will give the preface. It's going to get emotional. There's a lot of adversity. There's some death. There's a lot to unpack in this story that led you here today and led you to continue to grow Umbrella. So let's take it back to the beginning of, growing to North Central, got big into golf, and end up on a scholarship to IU, if I do remember correct. So talk to me about the scholarship that you got and how you ended up at IU.
Have you ever seen Caddyshack?
The movie?
The movie.
Yeah.
The film.
Yes,
the
yes,
feature film. So that scholarship is based on the scholarship that I got.
Okay.
So it's called the Chick Evans Scholarship. And basically, you've caddied for at least 3 years. You need money, and you've gotten good grades. You then go through this interview process, and then you can get selected to go to now a crazy amount of schools across the country, essentially on a full ride. So I lived on Jordan Ave in Bloomington. But it's not a frat house. It's a scholarship house. And we had 35 guys, 25 girls, and everybody's a caddy.
Wait, there's literally a caddy house.
There's a caddy house.
IU Bloomington.
When I was there, it was a phenomenal location. Right at the beginning of Jordan Ave, walkable to the library. I walked to every class in the middle of all the action. And we were caddies. And I tell this story and people are like, oh, so you were a golfer or you caddied at IU? And it's
and I'm like, anyone watching the YouTube clip, might see some tattoos and some, might not be oh yeah, golf is the sport of choice for Adam.
Crazy dynamic mix of people there.
Yeah.
Someone you'd be like, oh, you're a golf caddy. I totally get it. Then someone like me, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then you had a nerdy bunch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy mix.
Okay, so you end up there on basically a full ride scholarship to IU from this, what's the scholarship called?
The Evans Scholarship.
Okay. And then things are pretty normal, right? Nothing too crazy. And what you actually started with a class project that kind of got you into entrepreneurship, business, while also having a meaning behind the business, correct?
Correct. So I was, I think, second semester of freshman year. I went to SPIA, so arts management degree. Yeah, we had to create a business plan. Mm-hmm. And me being me, decided why not run with it? If I'm doing it for school, I'm going to do it for my life. So I started a clothing company. At the time, it was called Green Dream Clothing. And it was kind of based on the Tom's model. So for every shirt sold, I planted a tree. Built some buzz around campus, did my thing, stickers everywhere, threw some concerts, some parties. Yeah, that was the beginning of, us essentially having this conversation today. I had friends that did their summer internships for me that I was, signing off for these kids that were a couple grades older than me.
That's crazy. When you say it kind of started, were you selling a lot of Were you planting a lot of trees? Like what kind of volume were we doing?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking over 10,000 trees had been planted.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's like a serious business.
Yeah. Being a student, having to pass classes, doing my thing as a regular college student, and then nights and weekends was, making merch and planting trees.
And what was the thought behind planting a tree? Like why plant a tree?
I mean, sustainability was a huge aspect of my life and just the overall fashion scene at that time.
Because this was kind of like the rise of fast fashion, and like people were getting away from, well, like in one side, people were like, the cheaper you can buy it, the quicker, the blah, 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 blah. And on the other side, they were like, no, the Patagonias of the world, the Toms of the world were like trying to make the world a better place and, clean some of that up.
100%.
Yeah. And I know that there's Tom kind of got backlash because like they were giving shoes to people that were going hungry and like thinking about like all these different things that needed to be solved. So I know that was kind of like the rise of the philanthropic efforts behind businesses. Like this was 2014?
This is 2014, 2015.
Okay. So you grow this company for the next like few years. When does it change to Umbrella?
Pre-diagnosis.
Okay.
So I get out to college, I graduate IU 2014. Okay. I walk the stage, graduate. The next morning, I pack my car and drive out to Colorado.
Okay, why Colorado?
I loved the state. I have an older brother, and he had taken a gap year after high school and gone out to Breckenridge and was a snowboard instructor. And then growing up throughout my youth, my dad, brother, and I were always out there every winter, just snowboarding and skiing together. So a connection from afar. Yeah, there was just something that made me gravitate there.
Yeah.
All my friends that were, going through the Kelly School.
Did you have a job?
I was the manager of the flip-flop shop on Pearl Street. So anybody that knows Boulder knows Pearl Street. It's just like...
Wait, did you have this job before you went out there?
Yes.
Okay, so you had locked up your manager role at the flip-flop shop.
Yeah, bringing in the big bucks.
Yeah.
Bringing in the big bucks at I think $25K a year.
Nice.
And again, all my Kelly friends are, getting like substantial roles at
yeah,
big
I mean, they're
firms.
going to like be investment bankers or,
Yes.
join Eli Lilly or whatever they might be doing.
And I'm making like $7 an hour on Pearl Street in Boulder, but it got me out there.
Yeah.
And it was all for the best. With the move, I brought some of the noise of Green Dream with me. This is also right as the legalization of cannabis is happening in Colorado. And there happened to be a dispensary, I think in Fort Collins, called Green Dream. Enough stickers are getting placed, the word gets out, and I end up getting a cease and desist from this dispensary chain. It's like, yo, kid, stop using our name. And me being a 17-year-old, at IU when I started this, I hadn't gone through the proper channels to make this legitimate. So it made me reflect on A, doing things properly, B, not wanting to get my little business completely destroyed by
big cannabis.
By big cannabis, by big pharma. So I took a minute. I kind of reflected on everything that I was doing. The main mark, the icon of the brand is this upside down umbrella.
Well, that came after.
It actually came prior. So I was
with Green Dream?
Yes. So I was in the back row of a Buddhism class at IU, and I just started sketching. And whatever I was listening to from the professor at the time made me have this like, I guess what would be considered like a deep thought that, a standard umbrella blocks everything out, rain, wind, hail, etc. Right? So an upside down umbrella, if you look at it through the lens of life, allows for experiences, the good, the bad, the changes to actually come in and affect your growth, who you are, where you're headed, things like that. So that was always the main logo. I also realized from a marketing perspective that Green Dream Clothing Company, you don't see a lot of those that make it, right? Nike, Adidas, Google, right? I wanted something that I could really leverage from a...
Green Dream Clothing Company.
Yeah.
It rolls off the tongue.
Exactly. It just takes 30 seconds. So I wanted something that was quick, efficient, easy to remember. So I chopped the word umbrella up, took out a couple of letters, made it look a little sexy, made it match the mark. And that's what led to Umbrella Supply.
Yeah. So then you rebranded to Umbrella Supply or Umbrella. This would have been 2015, 2016?
Correct.
How was that going at the time? Like, was it still like doing decent, like the business doing well?
Yeah, it was doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was definitely a little bit of a pause and then like a resurgence with this new identity.
Yeah.
But it made sense. It was the right thing to do. Again, it brought me to, sitting with you at this table today.
Yeah. And I mean, this story starts to take a crazy turn here, I believe, at this point, where
Just about.
you grow Umbrella Creative, which is outside of the brand, like the clothing brand, and you actually end up working, if I remember correctly, with some cannabis brands, right?
So yes, I actually leave the flip-flop shop, surprisingly.
Yeah.
3 doors down on Pearl Street at this time, Native Roots is opening their second or third store. I would take my lunch breaks from the flip-flop shop, and I would slide my resume under the door of Native Roots, which is now the largest dispensary chain in the state of Colorado. I do that 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days.
You did 5 days in a row.
Yep. Finally, they're like, all right, let's call this kid back who keeps littering and loitering, and we haven't even opened up yet. So I get a call back. I go in and I say, look, I'm the right guy from just, kind of management and also marketing perspective to get this thing to the next level. There was 3 or 4 stores at this point. There's now like 22 or 23. There was no marketing team, department, real overall goals. And cannabis had become this legitimate business. So I bring my skills that I learned at IU through my efforts with my own clothing, and I help to elevate, and I become the marketing department for Native Roots Dispensary. I do that for 2 or 3 years. That was pretty cool. I'm the guy at Red Rocks, dishing out goods to all these artists, in the green room that are coming through Colorado. So some really fun experiences and stories there as well. And it gets to the point where I'd kind of done that, dream job for high school Adam to be, the marketing guy at this huge, dispensary chain. But I realized there's more to life. It's time to move on. And I end up starting this creative agency, leveraging the noise I had by Umbrella Supply, start Umbrella Creative, and get a little brick and mortar shop downtown Denver. And at this time, there's tons of startup, beverage, food, outdoor gear in this Boulder and Denver scene. And I tap into that, and we start doing photo, video, marketing, web work for all of these brands that are either starting up, rebranding, have gone stale, and also a lot of tourism. So I'm traveling the world as, a 24, 25, 26-year-old for my own little creative agency. Things are just on the up, the up, the up. And we end up doing a photo shoot for Basil Hayden's, a bourbon company, via Multiply, which is a little bit of an outdated PR firm out of New York City at the time. They loved the work we did. The CEO comes into town and says, hey, we loved your guys' work.
How big was your team at the time?
Myself, my former business partner, our full-time graphic artist, and then essentially a full-time web. So 4 every single day. About where Get In is right now.
Yeah, there we go.
And then, we had a team, a network that we would tap for larger projects or for things that we didn't have the bandwidth for, et cetera.
Okay. So the CEO of this PR firm, advertising firm, comes in.
Yeah, and he says, love your guys' work. We're actually looking to expand, make a footprint here in the Denver area as well. What would it look like to bring you guys on board? My business partner and I, I'm 25, he was 27, kicking the shit out of each other under the table. What is happening? Keeping straight faces.
Yeah.
Of course, this is a normal conversation. And that leads to a 2-month process of, an acquisition of Umbrella Creative to this very large and prominent agency out of New York City. And that included 2-year agreements for myself and my business partner.
Okay. So then you're working, what year is this?
This is 2018, 19.
Okay. So you're working then at Multiply.
Yep.
Kind of still doing what you had been doing. Was it a good acquisition? Does it take away some of the creative freedom? How does that all work?
All of that, Nate.
Oh.
So, for the best and for the worst in a way, much larger scale projects. Now we're helping brands like Liquid Death and Basil Hayden's and a lot of the Beam Centauri, brands, a lot of alc and beverage and way larger snack. That's kind of where the focus was for Multiply. So, I'm now 26, 27 working on huge, campaigns, projects, now traveling for these larger brands. So to be doing that work again at that age was really exciting. I'm also riding the wave of having sold this business that I just started, 24 months prior. So like there was definitely this momentum behind us. At the same time, it's no longer my little like 4-person shop. You lose that steam, and I'm working on these, account teams that, the bureaucracy kicks in, and the level of personal ownership fades a bit.
Throughout that time, big life shift happens for you. You're not all the way through your 2 years, correct?
Correct.
And you get diagnosed with brain tumors.
Correct.
So the story is already interesting, right? You're like this young hotshot guy out in Colorado doing your thing, growing a business, selling a business, and then during your earnout, during that time point, you get diagnosed with 2 brain tumors that come in a very interesting way, right? Like you have a seizure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and
right?
even that story is like its own little story.
So take us through, like, where did the health complications start to come into your life?
Yeah, so I mean, I had never broken a bone, nothing, anything in my life. I'm actually coming back from Sundance Film Festival, shooting for Peroni for Multiply. I get back to Denver. I'm like, that was a great work trip, whatever. Fall asleep in my condo in Denver. 10 minutes in to sleeping, I find myself in a grand mal seizure.
Grand mal?
The biggest boys of seizures.
Okay.
So full body lockout. I almost bite my tongue off. Luckily, my girlfriend at the time was there, calls the paramedics. I have like 7 firefighters, or paramedics come in and like crawl me down my stairs and get me into an ambulance. This is like, 11 p.m., midnight. I'm just getting my consciousness back, and I get rushed to Denver Health. Don't remember any of this, but CT scans, MRIs, and then at like 4 a.m, a neurologist comes in and says like, "Good morning, you have 2 masses in your brain." And I'm like, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning to you too, Doc.
My dad had always worked in the healthcare space, and after my parents split, my dad moved back to Baltimore, where he was from and where I was actually born prior to coming to Indiana. I call him and I said, "Hey, Dad, good morning. I have 2 brain tumors. You got to tap your network and get me in somewhere." He makes a few phone calls, and Johns Hopkins, which is just the best of the best, I end up getting a consultation there. So I go out to Baltimore, meet with the neurosurgeons at Johns Hopkins, feel very comfortable there.
And did it immediately, besides the one seizure, did it like affect your day-to-day, like motor skills, life, memory, anything like that?
Memory's pretty shot at this point to a degree. And it didn't stop with one. I had like 15 real seizures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A couple that could have taken my life on their own. I was in the bathroom by myself, getting into the shower, fell over, hit my head on the toilet, driving on the highway in Denver.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Girlfriend at the time has to swerve us off the highway, going 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably not the move.
Not the time, not the place. Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, right. So then you get in at Johns Hopkins and you're going out there. So do you have to move out of Colorado?
I hadn't yet. So I go out, I have a 8-hour craniotomy on February 24th, 2020.
Oh gosh, okay.
So the world's like gearing up for.
How are things with business going at this point? Like, are they like letting you have space and time? And
yeah, they were actually really great about that. 27 years old and I have 2 brain tumors. They understand that, I needed to deal with my health. So very, very grateful for that. And so February 24th, I have an 8-hour craniotomy at Johns Hopkins. Went as well as it could. They didn't want to, I have like a big one and a small one. They didn't want to go all the way in to get the remainder. They're in my right frontal lobe. It's perfect that we have these headphones on because it's covering the scar just phenomenally.
Yeah, what is a craniotomy?
They slice me open right here. They pull out a piece of your skull. So now I have a titanium plate like holding part of my skull together.
Do you like buzz when you go through airport security?
I have always give them a heads up. I got to take off the jewelry, take off the watch, and it's also I have a titanium plate.
Yeah, you're gonna get something like up in this area, just so you know.
Part robot over here. Surprisingly, recover pretty quickly. So I'm out of the hospital in like 2 days. I'm like, the final test, I'm like walking down the hallway with a nurse, and she says, start at 100 and subtract by sevens until you get to 0. My mom's a math teacher, and I'm just good with numbers, so I just like rattle it off,
Feeling
93,
good.
86, 79. I'm like going. And I get into the negatives. I go past 0, and she's like, all right, like you're good.
Right. Yeah, chill, brother. All right, so that's sick.
Go back to my dad's house, recover for a few weeks, wait for the biopsy. They pluck like the 100 staples out of my head, find out what type of tumors I have. And then I catch the last flight, because COVID is now here, on March 15th. I catch like the last flight back to Denver to try to start my life again. And that was surgery and time spent in Baltimore.
March of 2020.
Yep.
You just had a full craniotomy. You're back in Denver.
Yep.
Are you still working for Multiply?
I'm now spitting back up. Yeah.
Okay, you're starting to work again.
Yep.
And just when you think you're through the hardest part of life,
It hasn't even started.
it hasn't even started.
Right.
Talk to us about getting back to Denver and what ends up happening.
On a much more minor scale, I just moved into this condo, and then they find black mold in the closet in the bathroom. So like, I'm barely living in my new living space, talking to my dad every day throughout my recovery. And then a few weeks after getting back to Denver, he goes dark. And we talked every day. We were very close. I think it was a Friday morning. I text him, don't hear back. Okay, maybe he's working or at the gym or something. Afternoon, text him again, call him again, don't hear back. Nothing. At this point, I'm like, that's a little weird. Call my mom, call my brother. They also haven't heard from him. They both try him. Nothing. It's like something's definitely off. Yeah, it takes 2 days to find out and find the hospital. But that afternoon, he was shopping for wine at his favorite wine store and just dropped dead from a heart attack. I was only 27. He was only 61. I don't know your story as, in detail, but I know that you can somewhat relate. So yeah, I mean, like my skull isn't even like hard again yet. I can still like feel, where the staples were, where this massive dent in my head is. And I find out that my father, who just, helped me recover for like 3.5, 4 weeks, is now no longer living. Yeah, not ideal.
Not ideal, no.
I know a lot of people have it worse. I'm so grateful that I had 2 parents that loved me for 27 years of my life. At the same time,
Well, you talk about just like when it rains, it pours. Like you go from a guy who's hitting a lot of winners, like you got the cool job, you're traveling, you're at Sundance Film Festival, like life's good. Like
Yeah.
I sold my business, like come on now, to brain tumors and losing your dad. Like that's got to be hard. Take us to what you were feeling in that moment when you find out 2 days later what had happened with your dad.
awful, sad, disappointed, wishing the last time I saw him wasn't when he had dropped me off at the airport after my brain surgery for tumors.
So then, and this
Yeah.
is during COVID time. This is still pretty early. Like how long, what month is this?
So I got back to Denver in March. I mean, this is the very beginning of May.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So not long after. at all.
Not long at all.
So can like you guys travel for a funeral? Like how does that all work out?
It was delayed, but we did. We go out for the funeral, and then my brother and I go back again to clear out his house and to take the things that we want to Facebook Marketplace, the things that needed to just go to get his house ready to put on the market and sell. Definitely some hiccups due to what the world was going through. And it's so funny because, the world is like, oh my God, COVID. And in my head, it's like, well, introduce brain tumors and your father dying, and then we can have a conversation
And
about
like,
it.
yeah, being alone too. Like, so you end up getting back out to Denver.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like this is a big turning point in life. Like when you're kind of going through like a low point, like lots of horrible, hard, difficult things. Adversity has reared its head. What do you decide to do? How do things work forward? And how do you rebuild from where you are?
Luckily, had just a few more months on that 2-year agreement with Multiply. Mm-hmm. So I'm like battling through these, remaining 6-ish months of work. And then, I call it my quarter life crisis, like everything we just discussed. I'm only 27. All of these things have happened, the good, the bad, the ugly. When it rains, it pours, and then it drizzles. It's, what I say, like it's just never,
Yeah.
I'm battling through these remaining 6 months, lose my father, And at this point, I'd been out in the Boulder and Denver area for 7-8 years. I get that scene. I'd lived through those 10,000 people a month moving out there. I'm in the heat of it. What is now the Austins and, the Nashvilles. Like, I was there for it. So I got it. I think my time there was well served.
So you decide that you're done with Colorado, like your chapter in Colorado kind of needs to close. Well, take me through how you're feeling. Like your family doesn't live out there.
No. So
you are recovering from brain tumors. You lost your dad. Like, take me, like, how are you feeling? You're living across the country, not near your family, like going through what I'm guessing is still to this day the hardest little chapter of your life.
100%.
Like, that can't be easy.
Which then leads me to the decision to come back to Indianapolis. My mother is in Indianapolis. My brother's in Bloomington. Just lost my father in Baltimore. I was not going to move more west, right? And so I come back to Indy to be closest to my living family. The next part of the story is that I'd been practicing yoga for about a decade on and off, starting in college in Bloomington. And for some reason, just after I moved back to Indianapolis, I open up my computer and I Google yoga teacher training Central America. Don't know what inside of me makes me do that, but that's what I do.
Are you still working at Multiply at this point?
I've just hit that 2-year mark. Okay. I send in my email. I'm like, clearly you guys know, but I'm done. Right. I mean, we've been through enough together. This is my time. Again, this is the close of that chapter as well.
So really, I come back to Indy with a fresh start.
Yeah. And well, really finding the next start.
Yeah. And it has to do yoga teacher training Central America.
No idea why.
Okay.
Clearly, I needed some sort of physical escape as well, now looking back. But those words that were typed into Google at that time, I don't know what. I don't know, not even a week. A few days after research, I booked this yoga teacher training at Lake Atitlan in Guatemala.
So I just went through the ringer, and now you know where I need to go? Guatemala.
Yep, that's decision made. My mom is on a trip with a friend, and I call her. I'm like, Mom, this is what I'm doing. And she freaks out. Stereotypical Jewish mother, like, what? You just got back here? You just had surgery? All of this just happened? You're going to Guatemala right now?
What month is this? Is this in 2020?
Yeah, this is 2021.
World's kind of opening back up a little bit.
Little bit. There was still a lot. The training was supposed to be in Costa Rica, but that facility hadn't opened back up. So this group that I did my yoga teacher training with actually had to pivot last minute and found this space in Guatemala. So it's still very shaky. Yeah. So then a week after that decision is made, I find myself at Lake Atitlan in Guatemala for a 3-week yoga teacher training. Because now I decided I'm going to be a certified yoga instructor. Because why not?
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah. Clearly, moving back to Indianapolis, that makes sense.
Right.
That lines up.
Yeah. What 28-year-old male, doesn't go get their yoga certification in Guatemala, Nate?
You need a fresh start. That's where you start.
Yep.
Okay, so you're literally move across the country back to Indianapolis. You move, and then you get on a plane, and you're down in Guatemala.
Yep.
For yoga training.
At this yoga teacher training, I meet my now wife, as one does, Nate.
Where is she from?
She's from Israel.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, wait, you just meet this Israeli woman?
Yep.
And are just let's get married.
Precisely. She was on a lengthier trip, so she had a few more weeks throughout Guatemala and then Mexico. How
old is she?
At the time, she is 22.
Is she traveling by herself?
Yes.
What? She's crazy too.
Yes.
22-year-old just traveling the world solo?
Yes.
Bro, people
yes.
They got gumption. There's some people that have some courage.
Yes.
What is she doing at yoga teacher training in Guatemala?
Also getting certified to be a yoga teacher. But she had done Costa Rica prior, a little bit of Guatemala prior, and then a little bit more of Guatemala to come, and then a few weeks in Mexico. So we become very close. I don't know if I invite myself or she invites me, but I end up spending more time. So I join the Guatemala portion and then most of this Mexico portion. Is she on a solo trip?
Yep. Do you cancel your flight back from Guatemala?
Yep. I had to have my mother DHL me my anti-seizure medication to Tulum. It gets stolen in a warehouse. I then have like a 9-hour cab ride throughout all of these Mexican cities to find the 3 medications I'm on. That's its own story.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The things you do for
cab,
love.
I've never paid so many pesos for a cab ride. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I can only imagine. Okay, so you find this Israeli woman in
Yep.
Guatemala, follow her throughout Central America.
Yep.
At what point does this excursion end?
When I have to come back to the States to teach my first yoga class at my North Central golf teammate's wedding in Marathon, Florida.
You get your certificate. I got the yoga class.
I got
guys.
you. Meet you and your family and the guests on the beach. We're going to go through a nice class the morning of the wedding. All good. I then come back to Indianapolis, do some laundry, pack a larger suitcase, fly to Tel Aviv.
Shut up.
I pass out with jet lag in her bed at her mother's house before she is back wrapping up her trip in Mexico. She's like, Mom, this American guy is coming, be with me. And he gets there before I get home.
Bro, I would have waited in the airport. No chance.
So I meet my future mother-in-law, pass out in her daughter's bed. And then she has to knock on the door like, hey, like Neta's now back. She's home. Ride with her mom 12 hours later to the airport to pick up my about to be fiance.
Bro, that is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that how did you get to her house?
A taxi.
And you just knock on the door like, hey, it's me.
Yeah, like I'm the Adam that your daughter told you about. Like I'm here to crash.
What did her mom say?
Super welcoming.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, no.
No way. If I had a daughter and that happened, I'd be like,
get out.
Brother,
get out.
You're sleeping on the floor. You're sleeping at the airport. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you wake back up, you go back and ride with, or you just chit-chatting her?
Yeah, we're starting to hit it off.
This might be a silly question, but is English the language they speak in Israel?
I mean, they know enough Hebrew.
Yeah.
And I can chit-chat minorly in Hebrew. I can say hi, what's up, good morning, good night. The basic whatever, thought starters. And her mom can do just more than that in English. So there was enough. There was a barrier, but there was enough to have
I
basic
cannot
conversation.
imagine knocking on that door and being like,
yeah,
it's me.
Yeah.
I want to take a minute to tell you about my friends at JC Hart and the opportunity that they are giving to Get In listeners. They are offering summer savings of up to 2 months off of rent at these brand new communities, East Bank in Noblesville, The Edge on the north side of Indy, and Wheelhouse in Westfield. If you're looking for an awesome place to live, you need to hit up my friends at JC Hart. Go to homeisjchart.com/Nate and check out all their cool properties. Or if you know someone that's looking for an apartment here in Central Indiana, send that link to them and JC Hart can take them on a personalized tour. You know me, I'm all about Indiana, and JC Hart is as Hoosier as it gets, and they do some amazing things in our community. And they also wanted me to let you know that they are always looking for awesome people to join their team. They just made the list of best places to work in Indiana for the 13th time. Check out their open positions at homeisjchart.com. Now let's get back into the episode. No, 2 months ago, a month ago, whatever it was, you had just picked up your life in Denver and moved to Indiana.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in Tel Aviv.
Yep.
You are gonna just live in Israel. What's the plan?
There is none, Nate. End up staying there for a year.
You stay in Israel for a year? I did not know that.
Yep.
Wait, what is your mom saying?
Freaking out. Same thing. You have brain tumors. You just had surgery. Your dad just died, and now you're leaving me and your brother, and you're across the world for a year. What?
What are you doing for are you just teaching yoga?
Just living. Not even.
Nothing showing up at your future mother-in-law's house and it's what is he? I'm just
he
living.
doesn't have a job right now. He's just hanging out. We're going to cafes. We're going to the beach. Just living again as one does, Nate.
Do you have to get a visa or anything?
I do. They last 90 days at a time, but given my medical situation, I need to come back for MRIs about every 3 or 4 months at that time. So I had left Israel 2 or 3 times, come back here, go to my neuro guy downtown, get my MRIs, pack back up, go back to Tel Aviv. We're working on a visa green card for her because I've now proposed in February of 22.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're just like, we get out of her mom's place. I get some long-term Airbnbs in a couple different places in Tel Aviv. Totally just hanging out and living.
Honestly, though, you think about like the things you could be doing, you know, when you need to kind of like get like a reset, you know, like a lot of times people like have way crazier
Yep.
breakdowns or like, you know, drug habits or whatever it could be. You're living.
100%.
You're just in Tel Aviv,
Yep.
hanging out with your future wife and her family. And just like, was that the plan? It's like, hey, we're just going to continue to zip around Israel?
Yeah, and there's two crazy things. So going back to my dad, I wouldn't have had whatever this breakdown or like need for a getaway if he had not passed. You know, I would have managed my medical situation. Should I have brain tumors? No. They're brain tumors that, you know, the average 60 plus person gets them if you get them. But I've managed that as well as I can with, you know, these 15, 16 seizures that I've now had. But I like to think that, and I tell people that without his passing, I wouldn't have Googled yoga teacher training Central America and then found this beautiful Israeli woman that now becomes my wife. That sets up the rest of my life.
And takes you on like an adventure.
You know, I've gone to Iceland multiple times and Japan and Thailand and all these crazy places for my little creative studio in Denver, like doing photo and video work. Little do I know that I haven't even like scratched adventure. That wouldn't have happened unless my dad had passed. And I know that he would have had that happen to him again to tee me up for this relationship and the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, he always wanted me to date Jewish girls, and I like for some reason like never did. Like not on purpose, but you know, like my girlfriends were just never Jewish. It was just the case. And so I checked that box. Was never like happier. Checked that box. Yeah, I'm like living life to the absolute fullest. And for my dad to pass at 61 as a like relatively healthy guy, he still would have done that again to tee up again us having this conversation today.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
What brings you back to America?
My now wife, Netta.
So you guys got married in Israel?
Yeah. So
Did your mom come?
yeah. Yeah.
She on board with everything at that point?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Mom, brother, couple of friends. One of my best friends comes and does the video of our wedding. Have like a baby bachelor party. You know, like
In Israel?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so crazy.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Yeah, what brings us back is that Netta always thought that like she would actually find herself in America one day before meeting me. That happened for her. Also like a change for her. You know, Israel is this very tiny country in a very bad neighborhood, we like to say, and there was just more life for her outside of that. So
I mean, because what year is this?
2022.
Okay. So you guys get married early, like spring of 2022?
Yeah, we have like the formal ceremony actually in Cyprus, like the courthouse wedding,
Yeah.
and then we actually do like the familial wedding gathering whole event in July,
Okay.
and then September, October we come to the States. And I show her from Tel Aviv to Speedway, Indiana.
Hell yeah. She's like,
We have a racetrack here.
yeah. She's like thinking like, oh, Empire State Building's going
Right.
to be sick. And like, have you seen the Salesforce Tower? Let me tell you.
We have
Okay.
a circle downtown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So you guys land in Speedway, and how was that for her? Just like culture shock, good, bad?
All the above. Can't say it was perfect.
Well, I mean, Tel Aviv is huge, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like New York City meets Miami on the beach, best coffee, best food. It's just this international hub of amazing people, culture, food. And then again, it's welcome to beautiful Indiana.
Yeah, the Tel Aviv metro is 4.1 million.
Right.
Like that's a city. That's big.
Yeah.
How is acclimation? Like, where do you take her? Like, what, like the mug and bun and Speedway? Like, that's fire, but I don't know if that's like Tel Aviv beach food.
Well, it's funny. We land at like 11 p.m. The only thing that was like still open on the way back from the airport was Donato's. We scooped Donato's.
As one
does. Yep.
As one does.
Exactly. And then we wake up the next morning and it's like, all right, here's daylight in Indianapolis.
Are you still working on Umbrella? Like, what's been going on? What's going on with the business? Or you just like took a couple years to just like chill?
Yeah, I basically took a year to chill. My mother, who's the best mother in the world, any orders that I did receive while I was in Israel, she was kind enough to pack up and ship for me.
Oh, that is.
So thank you, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Robin. Yeah. You know, I'm schmoozing and you know, networking with creatives in Israel and, you know, learning about them.
But not doing any work.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
And for me, like I'm one to hustle.
Yeah.
As I know you are too. But no, it was very much like
it's like a reset, like a well-needed, like, man, all these crazy life things happen. Like it's like, again, some people will go their whole life and not have to deal with a parent dying at a young age and not have to deal with brain tumors, and to get both of those in a stretch of a year.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yes.
I mean, you end up back in the States. You're now wife. You're married. Like you literally come back. It's like a whole different, I don't know, part of life. And then how you get back into Umbrella and how you kind of change your philanthropical mission there.
You know, right prior to the drastic shift of Guatemala, Israel, you know, just shortly post-diagnosis, I realized, you know, outside of the sustainability aspect and the environmental philanthropy of, you know, planting trees, I now have what couldn't be a more personal issue in my life inside of my brain. Maybe it makes sense to switch up the mission a bit, raise some proceeds, some awareness to this, you know, disease that I'm fighting. It felt more authentic. It felt more valuable to the person that I want to be and am becoming. So that shift happens. So I scratch the planting of trees, and I now donate proceeds from sales to brain tumor research, to brain cancer care. So that had happened. And yes, now I'm in this reset mode of, you know, I have a wife. I have this homestead, if you will, in Greater Speedway. So maybe let's get to work.
Yeah. You might need to. Yeah.
Might need to. It's about that time.
So, well, talk to me then about what Umbrella, like you do drops, merch, like where you're getting inspiration from, how you're putting all those things together.
That kind of elevator pitch about the brand itself, having grown up a caddy at Crooked Stick, also being like a tattooed skateboarder and, you know, snowboarder, I blend like which is now everywhere, but like this country club lifestyle meeting urban streetwear. What was a very pretentious golf polo and tucked in shirt mixed with what people know of like Supreme and you know, those type of brands. Where is that middle ground? Where's the price point that my demographic and my friends can shop at? And again, how can I make my story be a voice and a reason for purchase?
I like that. Talk about what kind of drops, what kind of, I mean, you have the golf balls on here, the hats. I mean, some pretty solid gear, I would say.
Well, thank you, Nate.
If you've seen, I've worn at least one of the shirts in a few of the videos that I've put out. It's interesting because it's big, but it's not big. It's big, but it maybe not baggy. I don't know how you describe it.
It's like that modern fit. I mean, I'm in one of them right now. So like you can probably hardly see it. I don't know how the lighting's hitting me, but like upside down umbrella right here, baby graphic on the back, but really something that you can wear anywhere casually.
Yeah.
You feel good wearing it. You hopefully look good wearing it. It's something that you could have purchased at 2x the price point, but I'm making it reasonable, and you can know that, you know, you're helping out this cancer community that I'm also part of.
Yeah.
But yeah, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, candles, you know, I say streetwear and home goods.
Streetwear and home goods.
Yeah.
I love that, man. And it all started from a dorm room at IU.
Yeah. The Evans Scholar House at IU.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The Evans Scholar House.
Yeah.
That's still like a wild concept to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fast forward to this today. What's coming up for the brand? What can we expect? What can we expect from Adam?
A mini doc that I just shot with a very good friend in New York City, actually. You know, kind of a fashion hub of the world, meshing my story of Indiana roots here with this very fast-paced and fashion-forward, you know, community of New York City. So that should be releasing soon. With that is a new drop. So everything that you're looking at right now is a bit stale. There's a lot of fun stuff in the works. Continuing to use, you know, a platform that I'm building off of. I want to be the Lance Armstrong of brain cancer, right? Like instead of the yellow wristband, you're in an umbrella tee or an umbrella hat, and it's doing something greater than being on your body, but you also feel good about it.
Talk to us about where do you stand with the diagnosis?
Stable-ish. Like I mentioned, I have like a big guy and a little guy. They got like half of the big guy out. So I tell people I have 1.5 brain tumors. They are oligodendrogliomas, which are only 3% of brain tumors. So very, very, again, like grateful and lucky for that.
What does that mean?
So they're very slow growing.
So they're still growing in there.
For sure. I mean, they were smaller when I sat down than they are right now. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like right now is the youngest I'll ever be. Right now is the smallest my tumors will ever be.
Damn. Do you have to go back in for another?
Yeah, every 3 to 5 months based on how the recent scan looked.
Are you going to have to get another
Craniotomy.
craniotomy?
I could, but no. Very sketchy and could lead to things that I don't want to have happen, whether it's, physical limitations, brain function, more memory loss.
Wow. So it's still like, it's not like one of those things where you go in and get cleaned up and you're good to go. It's like every day these things are growing inside of you.
Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, in an ideal world, I wouldn't have them. But however, they've made me who, the man I am today. So for that, in a way, like, I'm glad it happened. Yeah, the location and the shape and the dynamics of these tumors don't make them easy just to like scoop out, okay, you're clear. I say stable-ish because we've gotten enough out where they are, again, just slowly growing. We're monitoring. At some point, I will need to do something about it. I'm waiting for a breakthrough to happen. If I need to do something before that happens, I will hop on some sort of trial and see what happens.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, but right now it's a bit of a waiting game. I'm the only one that can make the call when to do something. And there are new variations of, like there's oral pills now instead of getting hooked up to machines to try to clear things out. The scale of these guys is so massive. I don't want to go through radiation and buzz my whole brain and kind of be rotten as now a 32-year-old. So it's funny, I talk to my docs and they're like, well, I mean, you're the only one that can decide when to do something, because there's arguments to be made both ways.
That's a lot.
It's a little bit.
Yeah. So it's like when you think about, you're kind of waiting for this breakthrough or waiting for something, miraculous to happen, but all the time, the more shirts or stickers or home goods, whatever, it's like, we're putting more money into the research there that hopefully can help find a breakthrough sooner than later.
100%.
So through all of it, from growing a company, from moving across the country, being diagnosed with brain tumors and losing your dad, is there one overarching message or lesson or something that's just stuck with you that's kept you going through it all?
I mean, all the cliches, but you don't realize how true and personal they are. And I know you can relate to some of these, but I mean, call your parents, tell them you love them. Life is so much shorter than you think, and it's never too late to do anything. I think you're picking up piano right now. I'm happy to help you with the golf swing.
I need that. Do you still get out and play a lot?
I try. I'm a married man now.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree. Like, and cliches become cliche for a reason.
Right.
But I feel like you usually need like a trigger point that makes you like appreciate that and makes you like make a little bit less fun of them.
Call your parents, call your family. It's never too late to start anything. And also like let the little things go, because you're going to look back and either not remember it, or it's not going to have been as big of a deal to you or to the person that you thought it was. I think one of the big ones that I'm focusing on right now is like this concept of, if it takes less than 5 minutes to do, just do it and be done, because the amount of time you're going to be thinking about said objective or project or whatever it is going to 10x that item and take more of your life away. But yeah, call your parents and be grateful for what you have, because so many people don't have what you have.
That's a heck of a story. Like, I mean, your journey. And I had even forgotten about the part where you end up in Israel for a year. Like, it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot to be said about just going down and trying new things and putting yourself, I mean, even from like moving 2 days after graduation across the country, obviously going on your Central American yoga instructor class
Yeah.
to then like even through that you also like have to follow this woman around. It sounds really bad when you say it that way, but like you pursue love for
Yeah.
the rest of like another couple more weeks. And
Yeah.
then you come back and do laundry and then fly across the country or the world by yourself to meet her parents.
Yeah, it's been a ride. And that's the other thing too, is like the lowest points in your life, if you have the right perspective about them, can end up being that like kickstart of what is the rest of an amazing life. Things happen in some way or another for a reason. And it's your choice on how you want to look at them.
I mean, no great story ever comes from, and it was all easy and everything was just handed to it, you know? Like there's got to be adversity and it's how you respond to that. And you've clearly responded in an amazing way. We've come to the end of the show. We have a few fun Indiana segment questions for you. The first question is brought to you by our friends at JC Hart. They're a leader in creating enjoyable living experiences at apartment communities all across Indiana and beyond. Check them out at homeisjchart.com. My question for you, Adam, why do you call Indiana home?
Shout out JC Hart. Great question, Nate. I wish I could make it sexier, but you know, we just heard my story there, family.
Yeah.
And in a way, I feel like that's, you know, somewhat an embodiment of the state. You know, we're all family, like whether it's blood or community.
Yeah.
Family. I mean, my mother, my brother, my now wife. I mean,
well, and as a young man who not maybe experienced the same level of adversity, it's like places can be more important at times. And a lot of times, like, you know, the Denver, the Miami, the Austin, the beach, the this, the that, the other thing, like those can take precedent. And then you have this life-altering event and you're like, you know, what's really important to me is family.
yep.
How often do you get to see your in-laws?
I would say it's been once a year-ish.
Yeah.
Going there a couple times a year.
Yeah.
You know, we both wish it was more, clearly. Life happens. But yeah, a couple times a year.
It's hard, I'm assuming, if a family is, you know, important to have the family halfway across the world and the other half here. But it's nice that you get to spend your time here with your family. And
Yep.
okay, as we keep moving forward, what's your favorite golf course in Indiana?
To caddy at Crooked Stick.
Yeah, there you go.
I know that place like the back of my hand. I love Broadmoor.
Why Broadmoor?
I love a Donald Ross. So lush, so green, tree lined. You got to be hitting the ball well. The greens run true. It's just an excellent place to be.
There you go. Broadmoor.
Yeah.
I love it. What's something the world needs to know about Indiana?
We got a great airport. Got a great,
You spent a lot of time there.
yeah, we got a great airport.
Man, you've been around the world. You've been to Israel. You've been to Central America. You lived in Denver. You mean Japan, all the different places.
Yeah.
But like, what do they need to know about Indiana? Like the stereotypes are all like, this is tenderloin and gravy country.
I mean, going back to the family piece, like we take care of our own.
Well, I would ask you, it's like you were obviously drawn into like the streetwear culture and that whole piece of kind of the Colorados and the, you know, global influence and things like that.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to pretend to say like, oh yeah, Indiana is comparable to Colorado in the outdoorsy. But do you feel like there's a scene, there's people here that get you?
That's a great point. I think you can find a piece of your pie here. So whether it is the food, whether
Or
it is
literal pie.
yes, whether it's the pie or the tenderloin or sushi or whatever it is, you can find your pockets. Let's say that you can find your pockets. Whether you're skateboarding, you can hit Major Taylor. Whether you're snowboarding, you can hit Perfect North.
Is it going to be like Breckenridge at Perfect North? Like, no, but like there's a piece of it.
Look at it through the right lens, right? Be grateful for what you have. You can find
Major
your piece of
Taylor
the pie.
Skate Park. Wow, I've never heard of this.
Stop.
Me and the skateboard didn't work out so well.
Mr. Indiana, you haven't heard of Major Taylor.
I know Major Taylor.
I know.
But I don't know the Major Taylor Skate Park. I know the
Oh.
Velodrome,
Sure.
but the skate park, this is cool. Is it out by yeah, it's right by Marion.
It's in the same parking lot as the Velodrome.
Oh.
That's where I spent my entire youth, good sir.
Wow. Or you just like, that's cool. Some of the artwork there is crazy cool.
They got a little out of control. Yeah.
I mean, look at this guy. That's a sick picture.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal skate park.
Major Taylor. Look at that. Like, so there's like, granted, it's not like gung ho, like this is skateboard country.
Yeah.
but
You're
it's
not
like,
in Venice. You know, you're not on the beach in Venice, but you can find some stairs and some handrails and some bowls. I mean, like you can do your thing.
yeah.
It's not, you know.
I think that's interesting to hear how people that have varying interests find their community here in Indiana.
You can hit Brown County and go on amazing hikes.
We got 2,000 feet of vert like hiking in Brown County a month ago. Like there's
beautiful,
cool stuff.
It's stunning.
It's just not as easy. Like in Denver, in Boulder, wherever
Sure.
it's easy because you look up in the sky and you see like this giant mountain. You're like, I need to do that.
You're paying for that though.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like cost of living here, employment, great local airport.
Great local airport. Okay.
Yeah.
As we keep moving through the questions, this is where you get to enlighten us about some of your favorite pieces or a favorite place here in Indiana. What is a hidden gem in Indiana?
The 10th hole at Coffin.
The 10th hole at Coffin?
I've been saying this for a decade or so. If anybody would put some real care and money into Coffin Golf Course, it would be one of the most outstanding courses, potentially not even in the city or state, but almost Midwest.
Really?
The typography, the White River, the whole layouts themselves, and the location of the course. You're in the city, you're near Marion.
Why hole 10?
It's extremely difficult.
It looks pretty like a par 4.
It looks like nothing.
Okay.
Vastly underrated. You've got trees left. You've got water right. You need something right off of the tee. It doesn't even need to be driver. It's a relatively short hole. Vastly underrated, and it represents Coffin golf as a whole. Just overlooked.
Wow.
If anybody, please, again, would put some decent money and care into this facility, it would knock other courses off the charts.
Where's it at?
It's right across the street from Marion University.
The 10th hole at Coffin. That is the hidden gem. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's a unique one. I've never got that one. I don't know if we had one that specific either, but I respect it. So I bet some people will go down and try it out.
We'll get out there one day.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know what you think about that one. Final question of the day. This is where we, learn about new guests and hear about people across the state that are just up to something crazy.
Yep.
Who's a Hoosier we need to keep on our radar? Someone who's doing big things.
My older brother, Ari Swartz, up-and-coming comedian out of Bloomington. Find him at Ari Sorry across socials. He's just a killer.
Who would you say his comedy style is like?
Like Ari's.
There you go. Okay.
No, very original, influenced by the Kill Tony scene, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
And just got his purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
So he's literally he's both a killer on the mic and literally.
I think his Instagram bio is sits down to fight, stands up for comedy, something like that.
Sit down fighting and stand-up comedy.
There you go.
Love that, man. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm gonna have to go see. Does he perform ever around here ever?
He does. He does some stuff up at Fountain Square. He pops into Helium to host every now and then.
Yeah, he does the carnivore comedy. That's his thing.
Him. That's his thing.
Fat Dan's on Mass Ave.
Yep.
Fat Dan's in Bloomington. All right.
Yep.
I love it. Cool. We'll have to keep it on our radar.
Yes, sir.
Adam, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story of
100%.
Oh my gosh, from golf caddy to Kelly School. No, yeah, SPIA. To Colorado to your brain tumor diagnosis. It's an incredible journey thus far to Tel Aviv. Like that story
we are just getting started, Nate.
Amen. Yeah. And if people want to find Umbrla Supply, if they want to, buy some merch. I mean, I've worn a bunch of shirts in some of my videos. Like, check it out for sure. But if they want to find more about that, where can they do it at?
Umbrella Supply across socials, umbrellasupply.com. Talk to me. Find me. Hit up Nate.
There you go.
Grab my number.
It's not too hard to find, Adam.
No.
I appreciate you and the perspective that you bring. It's always a pleasure to get to sit down and hear more pieces. And there's always a new piece of the story that surfaces up, and I learn.
Yeah, we just tapped into it.
I love it, man. Appreciate you, and keep up the good work. And we'll talk soon.
Appreciate you, Nate.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Get In. If you like what you heard, make sure you leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is made possible by our friends up at Sweetwater. Whether you're looking to start a podcast or take your content to the next level, click the link in the description to see all of my gear recommendations at sweetwater.com. If you want a behind-the-scenes look at everything we're doing across the state, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Nate Spangle. Thank you so much for listening and being part of what makes the Hoosier State great. We'll see you next time here on Get In.